Hey guys, so I want to introduce you to some of my houseplants. Um, I am one of those crazy plant people that names my plants. Not all of my plants have names yet, but quite a few do. And so I want to introduce you to some of them. So first I'm going to introduce you to Horry. This is Horry, and this is my orchid. This is actually my fourth orchid. I've killed 3, including one that my niece gave me, which I was really sad about, but I think I have figured them out now. So as you can see, Horry still has a lot of his blooms. This one over here, right here, needs to be pulled off. From my experience, don't touch the flowers because that can kill them. I do have, let's see if I can get this here. I do have a new bloom coming out here, which is really exciting. And this is one of the only plants I have that's really delicate. He sits in this pot and he has just a hole in the bottom. And what I do is I water him from the bottom. I put water in a bowl and I stick him in there. And I tell my Alexa to set a timer for 5 minutes. And then when she goes off, I take her out and I put her in the empty bowl for 5 minutes and let her drain. And so far, she seems pretty happy with that. When her roots get to be big enough, you can see she's got a lot of roots in there. When her roots kind of start poking more at the sides here, I'm going to repot her in this. And with an orchid, what you do is you have to have a pot with slits in it, like this. You can see these little slits down the side here and down the bottom because it doesn't like a lot of water to sit in it. There's also pots like this that have holes in them that you can get and put them in. And you need to use particular orchid mix for it. I think my method that I figured out that works is watering from the bottom. So this would be put in this pot like this. And that's how I would have her when I replant her. But for now, she's in this nice little pot that my niece picked out. And she's doing pretty good. So this is Horry, my orchid, my baby orchid. Next, I have my Pyleas, which I call P. So this is my original Pylea. It's a baby. And I know I've seen a lot of posts about Pyleas and their leaves drooping down like this and doing this little right here, or turning this color. Let's see, let me put this down. It turns like this. And that's okay because it's okay if it's on the outer, if you can see here, if it's down, like this one is a lower one here that's doing it, because the new growth comes out of this middle right here. So this is actually a new little growth that P has done. And so as long as it's the lowest, and see, we can actually just pull this one. He's actually not ready to come off. I don't cut mine. I let them kind of make themselves ready. So I kind of move it around, and if it comes off, it comes off. If it doesn't, I leave it alone. That's just what I do. But this guy, and see, this one's kind of turning a little bit of a lighter shade of green, and that just means that it's dying this leaf off because there's new growth coming in the middle. So this is one of 3 Ps that I have. So this is my first one. A second one I got, I had ordered it offline, and I actually thought that it was a bigger. I didn't realize it was a mini. So I actually have 2 minis. I really want a bigger one, but I can't find one. So you can see this pea is also doing the same thing, and his leaf kind of tore right there. But there's a new growth coming in the middle here. If you can see, he's right in, see if I can get this leaf out of the way. He's right in the middle, right here. So my Pylea P is pretty happy. They do like to dry out in between waterings. I actually tend to water them with my pipette water, which I showed on my video about my calanchoes. But it's this little thing. I got it off of Amazon. It came with two, one this size and one half this size. And I actually just water them in the middle. And maybe about once a week because they're in squatty pots. Mine tend to like that. And I have it on, I have this one on a little dish, which actually matches the little bowl I have one of my calanchoes is in. But this is my other pea. And this is a newer pea. This is actually a watermelon Pylea. Look at how cool these leaves are. They actually look like watermelon. A watermelon rind. Is that not amazing? And look at the shine on them. And they're pretty thick. It's really healthy. It does the same thing, if you can see here in the middle, where all the new growth is happening down in here. So Pyleas, they grow from the middle out. So if, excuse me, if you have your Pyleas, the outer leaves die off or they're getting light green, that's okay. It's when you get towards the middle, you don't want that to happen because that's where the new growth is. So this is one of my newer Pyleas, my pea. Look at how beautiful that leaf is. Absolutely amazing. So those are my three Pyleas, which I have named them P. And actually, yes, actually I have another one. This is a newer one. This is a baby Teardrop Pylea. I forgot about this one. Look at how gorgeous that is. I mean, she is just beautiful. It's a different type of variety of a Pylea, but she's a vining kind of Pylea, and she's absolutely gorgeous. I just recently got her. I had some coupons, and so I went and used it the other day. Look how gorgeous she is. So I actually have 4 Pyleas. Okay, so moving on. This is Rue. This is my rubber tree, my rubber plant. He is pretty happy. He's gotten some new growth right in here. He stays in my office, so I get to enjoy him every day. He's also got some new growth coming in down here. I don't water him very often. He doesn't seem to really want a lot of water. His leaves are pretty thick and hardy. I just think he's amazing. I just love leaves. I've always loved leaves. You can actually see if you look right here, there's a new growth coming in. How amazing is that? That's absolutely so cool. I love that. So Rue is happy. That's good. We always want them to be happy. Happy plants. This is my oyster plant. Excuse me. And he's not been too happy. And I just pull these little pieces off when I notice them. He did have 4 stalks. There was 2 here, but they died off. And actually the other day I accidentally tore, I moved one of these leaves, but it was over here, and it ripped off by accident. I apologize to O. But there's actually some new growth coming in the middle, so that's encouraging. So far these 2 have done pretty well. I was really sad to lose the other 2 that came in here, but it happens. Happens to the best of us. But this is an oyster plant, And this is what I named O. This, I looked for weeks, and I finally found her. This is Dottie, and she is starting to die back a little bit, but she does have some new growth coming in. You see how I get this? Let me just take her out of here. See if that doesn't help. So I don't know if you can see, but right here, she's got a new little growth coming up. And I'm just kind of waiting for these leaves to really die back. You can see like this one is getting pretty spent, but her top part of her leaves are still really nice. So I'm just leaving it and enjoying them. She's one of my favorite plants. I looked and looked and looked and was obsessed with finding one. And there's also right here some new growth. Oh, and here's a big growth right in here. If you can see right here. So Dottie is doing well. I also water Dottie from the bottom. So I take her out and I put water in a bowl, and she has these holes underneath, and I water her that way. And so far she's really enjoyed that. She's doing pretty good, and this leaf was the newest leaf. It opened when I got her. But she's doing great. She's one of my favorites. This is Dottie. And this one is a fern. It's a parlor palm, but I call it fern. And this Fern lives in my office, and I love having her in there. She doesn't require a lot of water. As you can see, she's pretty happy. She does occasionally get some of these leaves here. Let me see if I can pull this off here to show you. Come here. Where it kind of dies back a little bit. So I do occasionally go in and prune her up and get all the bad dead areas off so that she can just flourish and be happy. When new stalks come up, they look like this. And then as they mature and get bigger, they'll open into this, which I think is so cool that it can grow like that. So this is Fern. All right, the next one is Rexy. And this is a Rex begonia. And I call him Rexy. I don't know why, I just do. Look at these leaves, how gorgeous they are. They're almost like a pinkish silvery color on here. And they're a little bit more of a textured kind of leaf. And Rex really, he dries out and I water him. He's got a hole in the bottom. And when his leaves kind of start dying back, like there's one in here, like right in here, I'll just pull it out and clean him up. And he's pretty happy. And you can see this leaf here is pretty much dying. So, oh, it actually pulls out. That's what I do, is I wait until they let me pull them out, and then I take them out. And this one also looks like it's kind of dying because you can tell its stem is a different color. So let's see. Yeah, that one won't let me pull it out, so it's not quite ready to come out. But this is Rexy. Rex for short. Okay, next is my little fid. And this is a Fiddle Leaf Fig that I call Fid. And look at how absolutely gorgeous Fid is. I love Fid so much. His leaves are just wonderful. I did have some growth, and I'm hoping to have more growth. I've moved him away from the air. I did not realize that he was getting so much air, cool air from the air conditioning. So I've moved him in the hopes that he will do a little bit better. I do have a big fid, which is a regular big Fiddle Leaf Fig. And that's out on my porch outside. So I have big fid and little fid. And this is little fid. I also water from, and see, he's getting close to being repotted. But he comes out of his pot sometimes. But I pull him out and I water from the bottom. The same as I do with Dottie. I put water in a bowl and I stick them in there and let them sit for 5 to 10 minutes, soak up what they want, and then put them back in after they've drained in their pots. So that is Little Fid. Now this is one of my absolute favorites, and I actually wasn't looking for this one, but when I saw it, I was obsessed. This is a Raven ZZ plant. I call this Ravi. Ravi's one of my very, very favorites. So when I got Ravi, he only had one little green stalk, and I was really confused. I'm like, they must have put the wrong kind of ZZ in Ravi. But actually, when a Raven ZZ is mature, it turns this dark plum kind of black color. And I actually need to clean his leaves because he has some of my dog Winston's hair on him, because he lives in my bedroom and that's where Winston likes to shake. But you can see here, this is what a new growth on a ZZ looks like. So when they get new growth, they're this color. When they mature, they turn to this color. And Ravi has been super happy because I've gotten a lot of new growth on him. He's huge, and he's still, if you can see, is growing more in here. I also, let's see, there was another, maybe he already grew up a little bit. Oh, yes, this was a new growth as well, and he grew up. It grows pretty quick. And this is the other new growth, this little guy. So, and you can see too, inside here, there are some spent leaves, and I can pull it out, so that means it's ready to come out. So I'll just pull that out to clean him up. And there we are. So this is Ravi. He's one of my absolute favorites. I have another ZZ plant, which is just a regular ZZ, and this is Zan. And Zan is doing pretty well also. He has a lot of new shoots. He's got this one here, this one. This is fairly new as well. And I thought he had another shoot coming up, but I'm not finding it. So Zan also lives in my bedroom. They like ZZ's like little light. They don't need a whole lot of light. And I only water them when they get really, really dry. Like to the point of being bone dry. They do not like a lot of water at all. So this is Zan, my ZZ plant. Okay. This is Fifi. It's a hilarious name, but this is my fish plant. And it's not been doing great. I've lost probably 3 stalks on it. I had purchased it online for a couple bucks, and I just kind of wanted to see what it did. I actually got a refund for it because it wasn't doing well, but I planted it just in case it decided to live. And you can see this guy died, and yep, I can pull him out, so I'm going to pull him out. And I have a dead leaf here that I'm going to pull out. And so I have this lone stalk here for my fish plant that I call Fifi. So I was just watching to see what Fifi does. Yeah, I like him because he's variegated. See the lighter color and then the darker color? So neat. I took a leaf off, I didn't mean to do that. And the new growth comes in up here, makes it taller. So this is Fifi. This is Dre, my dragon tree. And it actually came with 2 stalks in the pot. And I didn't realize it when I bought it, and I only wanted 1. So I gave my friend the other one, and hers is doing really well from what I understand. So I have not quite figured out how to get some of these water spots off of Dre. I think I might resort to a little bit of dish soap and water. Water has not worked for me. They kind of come back. But I only water Dre probably about every other week. I let him dry out. He really likes to dry out. And the cool thing about a dragon tree is it starts with these leaves all the way down at the bottom. And as you take them off, the stalk continues up and up and up. And your new growth comes in the middle here. You can see some of these shorter ones. That's where the new growth comes. And so it gets taller, and as you take these leaves off, your trunk just gets taller and taller, and that's why they are considered dragon trees, a tree, because it looks like it's got a big trunk, and they can get pretty tall. But I think it's amazing when you look the way these leaves are going up. It's just mesmerizing to me. I think they're so beautiful and amazing, and it's amazing the way it grows like this. I love Dre. And I like that Dre has more than one color on the leaf. The middle is green and the outer is kind of like a rosy purple, kind of like a deep pinkish purple. Really cool. I love Dre. Okay, this is a bird of paradise, and this is my baby bird of paradise. So this is Birdie, baby Birdie. I have a large bird of paradise that I found, and you guys, I was so excited. I had been looking for a couple years for one, and I finally found one, and oh my gosh, I freaked out. I was like, it's in my cart and it's not coming out. And my friend, I was texting her and she's like, you don't need any more plants. And I was like, too bad. I'm getting Birdie. So this is a baby Birdie that I had gotten. And it's obviously going to take a really long time to grow really big. But I am actually enjoying watching the process inside, because right now Big Birdie is outside on the porch. And I'm enjoying the process of watching how it grows and how it fans itself out and has this stalk right here. I love to watch how the plants grow. I think it's really amazing how they do. The soil looks like it's dry, but down underneath it's not. This is actually the soil that it came in. It fit perfect in this pot, so I didn't change it. But when I stick my finger down there, it's still moist. So Birdie's still happy. But Birdie likes it in my kitchen. And when it gets cooler, I'm going to bring Big Birdie inside. But right now, I had to take him outside because I painted the kitchen. And couldn't have Birdie in here for that. So I took him outside, and he actually was like, hey, I really like this. So I've left him out there, and he's been doing really great. This is my baby Monstera. And as you can see, this is Monty. He is happy. He's got this new leaf coming out. The thing with baby Monsteras, or baby Monties, is they don't quite have the slits in their leaves yet. they're still babies, they're still little. So it's not until they get mature that they get their slits. But I think it's a great sign that I have a new growth right here. And I'm so excited. I might try to stake him up with one of my stems, one of my sticks, but I don't know. I kind of like that. He kind of leans. There are a lot of imperfections in some of these leaves, but I think that was from shipping because I did order it online. And it was the first time ever that I've ordered plants online. I will probably not do it again unless I really want something. I did not have a very good experience with it. I don't think this one I got a refund on because it was living, but I got a refund on 4 of the plants that I got. And they were all very inexpensive, just a couple dollars because they were all little plants. But you can see the little imperfections. But I think as new leaves come and these die back, the new leaves will be fine. They'll come out and they'll look nice and it'll be happy. And Monty seems pretty happy right now. So, and again, it's the same dirt as when I got it in the mail. So that's why it looks a little dry, but underneath it's not dry. So he's good. But I do have a big Monstera, a big Monty and a little Monty, just like I have a big Fid and a little Fid and a big Birdie and a little Birdie. I'm just enjoying watching the babies grow, and then I know kind of what the bigger ones look like, and so watching the little ones, it's really kind of cool. Just like watching kids grow up. It's amazing to see how they grow and how they mature, and I just love it. It's amazing. So those are my named plants. I hope you enjoyed hearing them and seeing them. I know that I enjoy loving on them every day, that I see them and watering them and what I call fiddling with them, because I'll take it and I'll move the leaves around and look around and take out dead leaves and just fiddle with them. And they love it. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video.